Hey, I'm Aeyers, and this week I'll be learning about vector art for the first time. There's two kinds of vector art that you can do. One is easier to construct but harder to plan, which is geometric vector arts. You start with shapes and then you combine them together to make different images. That's what I'll be doing today. The other kind of vector art is basically just drawing but in a certain way with more lines. So the difference between vector art and regular other art is that regular art and basically all pictures are made up of pixels. And so if you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, eventually it'll become little bricks of color placed around. But vector art is more like it's constructed with math. And so it says, oh, exactly this curve, and on the inside is this color. And then when you zoom in and zoom in, it can just calculate to more decimal places what that curve is. And so no matter how much you zoom in, it can continue calculating and still have a clear curve afterwards. And that's good for things like logos, where you might need a tiny version to put on a pin, but you also might need a huge version to print onto a sign. And so you can take that one vector art image, blow it up really big, put it on a sign, but you can also make it really small. With regular pixel images, you can't do that. What I'll be doing today is following the tutorial of how to make a little box icon. It looks nice. The tutorial is by Logos by Nick, and I'll put a link to that video in the description because that tutorial is going to be way better than watching me stumble through it and talking about things. I downloaded a new program called Inkscape. It's basically the best free vector art program that I could find. Without further ado, here it is. First thing I'm going to do is make a hexagon. Now you're thinking, hey, why a hexagon? I thought we were making a box. Well, that's a good question. You'll see in a sec, basically. If I hold down Control, I can control what angle it's at. So that's that. Now I've got our hexagon. Go to the selection tool. First thing we're going to do is bring the opacity down, so that when we layer things on top of this, we'll know how different shapes are overlapping. So the rest of this is just going to use layers of this hexagon positioned over each other. So I'll demonstrate. So Control D lets you duplicate it. So now I've just got two layers of that. And then we can just snap the bottom two corners of this one to the top two corners of that one. And we'll turn it red. And then what we can do is we can try to just get the section where these two are overlapped. Oh, actually, I need to duplicate this one more time. There we go. So now we've got this higher red hexagon and this lower gray hexagon. And so in this menu, we can combine those in a number of different ways. And so union is like all the area. So like if you have a Venn diagram, this is the entire Venn diagram. The difference would be just the outside two sections of the Venn diagram. The intersection is just the inside of the Venn diagram. So that's what we want for this one. And now you can kind of see already the box that we're going to get to, which is really cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to create little flaps that go around the outside. So we're going to duplicate this. We're just going to put it here. And then we're going to duplicate it again. And go here. And so you can kind of see this diamond here could be like a really big box flap. So we're going to take those two. We're going to do the same intersection. So now we got that shape, and we're going to turn it blue. That doesn't look blue. Okay, we'll turn it green. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to duplicate that. We're going to scale it up real big. Duplicate that. section over there. I'll show you what we're doing here in a sec. I'm gonna select them both and turn them into a group. So that grouping them basically means that they're one object now. And then we'll select I need to select both this square here and this bigger one, so I'm just going to move this to the side. Select that, and then if I go to align, I can align it both horizontally and vertically. Ooh, I selected them in the wrong order. I don't remember which order I did it. Nope. There we go. So that's horizontally, that's vertically, and so now this is going to be centered. So now go back to selecting just this, ungroup it, and then we can delete this half, and so now, in order to, all of that was just to divide this diamond in half. So if we select these two, and do intersection again, now we just have this little bit here. So you can kind of see how that looks like a little box flap coming off one side. So we're gonna duplicate that, flip it vertically, snap it on there, duplicate both of these, flip it the other way. Wait. Yeah, that worked. So now we got a little box. The red is the inside of the box with green flaps. So this is most of the work, but what we really want to do is we want to make basically an outline of this shape. And so that's what we're going to work on next. I'm going to do union. So now these four are just all one shape instead of being four different sections. So then we hit Shift, I think, and tap black, and that just makes an outline out of everything. So we're going to make it a thicker line. What's 10 look like? 10 is too thick. Oh, good lord. Let's try 5. 5 looks good. So now I've got this, and this is where my experience differed from the tutorial I was watching, but I had to ungroup this. Oh, maybe I have to stroke to path, and then ungroup it. There we go. So now we've got this as one object, and then this is another object, which is what we wanted. And we can get rid of these now. Actually, let's just move them off to the side. Just to, keep them around. Then we're going to do the same thing here. So Shift, black, thickness of 5. Then we need stroke to path, ungroup, and so now you can kind of see this can come out, or the outline can come out. We've separated those two pieces. So we'll put this back like that real quick. Actually, let's move this over as well. Okay, so in order to get rid of these sections, what we gotta do is make a duplicate of up here. Select that as well, and do difference. And then go up to here again, and hit break apart. And then deselect this one, and delete everything else. Nice. So now we're just left with one piece down here, and this whole thing. I'm going to select the top. Okay. Go to 5. Stroke to path. Oh. Selection tool. This. Union. It's like this. Union. Cool. So now this is all one object. And then if we want to, we can slot this in. Maybe not. Anyway, this was the shape I was going for. Right here. It looks pretty cool. I had a great time making that little box, but that's it for this week. Next week I'm going to try the other type of vector art where you have to actually draw in lines yourself. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Dress up like a moose during hunting season. Disturb a nest of wasps for no good reason.